Hello, this is Gary from Zone 8B here in Texas. I did lose my cameraman. She not feeling good, so I'm going to have to do it on myself, so I'm not going to be in the video, but I'm going to go over today on growing tomatoes and how I grow tomatoes here in the South. These tomatoes were planted. I started on Martin Luther King's birthday from seed. I planted them out on February 20th. I got a freeze on them, or fairly hard frost on them. I think March 19th, March 20th, I covered them a day late, and we had a freeze, got down to 30 degrees, but I did cover them enough that they didn't receive any more damage. They did look pretty bad, and this is what they look like today. Today is May 16th. So anyway, I'm gonna go over the different varieties, give you a quick rundown of them, kind of show you the size of them. Some of them's already 6 foot tall. They're just starting to ripen. The first one on my list is the Champagne Bubbles. The first year I planted this one. I do got these grown up in cages. I grow them 2 different ways. I put some in cages, and let me go over here and show you just while I'm talking about it. This is my row of cherry tomatoes, which no one needs that many cherry tomatoes, but this is a row of my indeterminate tomatoes, some heirloom, some hybrid. These are my determinate tomato row, and I use the Florida weave to keep them up. You'll notice the Florida weave over here with the strings coming through it. I need to run another line. And then this row here is all my paste tomatoes. So starting over with my cherry tomatoes, like I say, it's Champagne Bubbles. It's a little bit slower as far as ripening so far, but it's got some on it. None of them's ripened. This is the first Sun Gold, and it's probably 3 foot tall. Got some that's just now ripening up on it. My next one is Napa Chardonnay. It's a very good tasting one. It did have a little bit of worm damage early on. I did spray for it. I think got most of them. You do have to stay on top of that. I've not sprayed any fungicide on these yet. These are 5 foot cages, so that's already got to 5 foot. The next one is the variety called large cherry. It makes a really large plant, and it's just got a little bit of damage on it. This here is the blueberries. It's very colorful. It's got the black on it, and then if you'll notice on in here, when they turn that kind of chocolate color, that's whenever they're ripe. So first year I grew them, I kept trying to cut them before they got ripe because I thought, well, they're black, they ought to be ripe, but I was wrong. The next one is Mountain Vineyard. It's a grape type tomato. It produces a lot. Very sweet variety, and you see these stink bugs. That's what makes them blotchy. You can see on that's the blotchiness of them, and once they get to be that size, it's hard to kill them. But anyway, that's Mountain Vineyard. This one here is Purple Bumblebee. It's one of my kind of favorite ones. I don't see any ripened yet. That's a nice healthy plant. It's already up to 5 foot. This is Blush. It hasn't grown quite as well, but it's still producing good. First year my wife tried some. She said that she really liked the flavor of them. This is Sunrise Bumblebee here. And this is called Coyote. And if I can show y'all, it goes from here up to here, all the way up to there. It has went crazy. It's more of a currant type, a small variety. Those are starting to turn. I think there might be 1 or 2 in there somewhere that's ripe. But it's a monster. To me, a little bit too much. I mean, it's gone crazy. I don't ever prune mine, but you know, this Tropical Sunset, hadn't pruned it. It stayed within its cage real good. In fact, I think this you're seeing here is actually from the other tree. It's grown all over into it. So to me, the Coyote is just too vigorous. You can have that. Chocolate Cherry. It's actually my another one of my favorites, I guess, or one I like the best. This here is another Tropic, another sun gold, and it's kind of gotten crazy too. And it does have some that's drop on it. Now, these over here, this is the Chef Black. And there's the size on these. These are going to make some good sized tomatoes. I'll try to put my hand in here so you can kind of see the size of them. It's a hybrid, indeterminate. The next one is Chef Orange. Again, nice big tomatoes. They haven't ripened yet. Again, they're in the big cages. Mountain Merit. It's going to make more medium size. It's supposed to be real disease resistant. It's got several on it. There's another one of those Coyotes come all the way over here. And I planted these 4 feet apart, so between rows. This is a Paul Robeson. That's another Chef Black, and that one's got one that's just now starting to ripen on it. And that's another Paul Robeson, which is doing a lot. No, this is Chef Black also. This in here, it's a Purple Boy. I'm gonna go through these fairly quickly. The one I'm going to show you, this here is Solar Flare. It doesn't look good. I'm probably going to take it out because it looks kind of diseased. So I hadn't spread anything else, but sometimes you get a tomato plant like that and you best off just take it out. So I have one out here. This is Dr. Waches. It's going to be later. And another Dr. Waches, which does have a couple of fruit on it. And you know, I never take off the first fruits. It's like some people do. The reason being, if I took off those first fruits there, I wouldn't have any on this one yet. And that might be the only ones that make if we turn off super hot. So I know a lot of people say they prune their first tomatoes. I don't, just for that reason. Because these tomatoes, I mean, it's hard to, wasp, but they're hard to stunt. I mean, I guess you could, but to me, I want the fruit as early as I can because, you know, summer's coming. And the last one here is another Mountain Merit. Okay, so going through these. These are my determinate varieties. And that's the Hosinator there. That's another Hosinator. This is called Brickyard. It's one you can't get anymore, but I had some extra, and it's got some good fruit in there. It's growing good. They quit making it. We're breeding for it. Another Brickyard. Got some stuff on it. This here's Belarosas. Belarosas is making a lot. A lot of times Belarosas don't have a lot of, plants don't look as because this is also Belarosas. Sometimes, like I say, their plants don't look good, but they got a lot of tomatoes on them, and that's what you're wanting. So if you want a smaller plant, they don't get quite as big as some of the Hosinators and other ones. This one's a Roadster. And this one's also good for a fall tomato. And another Roadster, and some of those are starting to ripen. And I actually got some blossom end rot. I've not had blossom end rot this year. In the past, this year I've got one on that one. So I got a bunch on the other. This here is a Roadster, and it's got a nice big tomato on it. This is another Roadster. And then I got the Hosinator there, and that's a Hosinator, and that's a Hosinator. Now on my others, these are, I'm going to start with this one so I know what they are. So that's Tachi variety, Tachi, and then we switch over to Shelby is this one, and this is another Tachi. That's another Shelby. And Shelby seems to be doing pretty good. And I think these are Shelby's too. Yeah. And these here, and that's the end of the Shelby's there. So they're doing good. Got nice big tomatoes, a lot of them on it. And then we're going to go to the Invincible, which in the past has been my favorite. And it's again putting on lots of tomatoes. And they're doing good. Still got lots of blooms to come on it too, so they're going to continue to make. They're not going to make all at one time. They're going to make it right for a 3-week period of time usually. And again, that's my tomatoes. The only other thing I did want to show you, there's a pretty big gap between the rows I got here and my fence. But you know, I've got a horse that's got a longer neck. And basically this is my corn plant. I came in here today and this is what this row is. And basically what happened is my horse decided to put his neck over there and eat the corn. But he only got the one corn. And he's just being a horse. But next year I know if I'm going to plant corn, I need to plant a bit further away from the fence. And that is my Hickory King corn. It's up 6 foot tall. And like I said, I haven't even started tasseling yet. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you later.